Hey there, hope you're doing good. Today I'll tell you why you should use serverless for your backend. As a starting point, there may always be exceptions, but you should focus on serverless as a starting point. This is a special case of the more general principle that you should work at the highest level of abstraction that works for you. And this general principle applies for a lot of things. For example, if you're building an iOS app and you're working with images or videos. There are multiple APIs that let you read and write these files. And you should work at the highest level that works for you because they abstract out a lot of the mechanics. In this situation, let me take Google App Engine as an example of serverless. Assuming your architecture is like this for a basic app, you have a load balancer, you have a bunch of instances which auto scale. You may have a canary instance. You have authorization, you have a block storage, logs, and cron. App Engine abstracts out all of these except for the dashed box, the app server. Let's look at each of these stages. If you're just setting up a raw VM, let's say, you need to set up a load balancer and connect it. App Engine comes with a built-in load balancer. Then App Engine auto scales. You don't need to do anything separately to enable it, which you need to do if you are using raw EC2 VMs or Google Compute Engine VMs. Then you also need to set up a canary by yourself, whereas App Engine has built-in support for canary or at a more general level for traffic splitting, so you can do A/B tests and other things like that. With VMs, you have to roll your own version of these. With App Engine, you just focus on the app server. You don't focus on the VM or the container, such as the language runtime, the OS itself, which Linux distribution do you use, which version. Oh, it has reached the end of the life. Now we need to rebuild our image. Have we applied all security updates? If not, what do we need to do? If it's an Amazon Linux 2 VM, rebooting it is enough to apply security updates. If you're using some other distribution like Red Hat Enterprise Linux, is that sufficient? Is there something else you need to do? And even apt-get updates generally or yum updates for stability, not just security. All this is abstracted out. VMs need an underlying root volume, which is an EBS device on Amazon. Again, choosing a type, is it GP2, is it GP3, what's the capacity, what is the IOPS that you're requesting, and so on. You don't need to worry about any of these. What is the volume size? Are you filling it up? In which case you'll have an outage. Do you resize it? If you do, the file system won't auto expand. You have to SSH into each Linux box and run some command to expand the file system to use the additional space. Then as the app server runs, it generates logs which need to be aggregated from all the instances and centralized. And you need monitoring. You may also need cron jobs for periodic tasks, like, I don't know, sending a daily report. And then you'll need auth to authorize your users. If you use App Engine, all these come built in. Again, different serverless platforms abstract these out to a greater or lesser degree. Google Cloud Run, for example, is basically App Engine, but you have to build your container like a Docker image. And you don't want to do that because then you have to take care of security updates in like the Python runtime and all of that, which you don't want to do. You want to focus on your application code, your business logic. If you go even higher level to functions as a service, they abstract out even more. They also free you from worrying about concurrent execution of multiple HTTP requests in the same instance. So you don't need to worry about, for example, global variables being overwritten or thread synchronization or resource contention. You have a certain amount of memory, but it's serving a lot of traffic. So you need more memory. Again, you don't need to worry about that. So the higher the stack, the higher level you go in the stack, the more is abstracted out for you. So the moral of the story is first use serverless if possible, and more generally, explore the highest level and see if it works for you. If not, explore one level below. See if that works. If not, go one level below. Don't go bottom up, go top down. If you'd like me to set up your architecture, my consulting link is in the description. Thank you.